3, 2, 1.
Well, I got stabbed again today. I didn't feel good about it, but what's done is done. And now I'm lying bleeding on the floor. I put a bullet in his head. There was no hesitation, but you made it easy when you strapped his body to a chair. So say goodbye to everything you ever knew before. And I'd understand if you went running out the door. And I'll keep you safe, and no harm will ever come to you, I swear. And I'll kill if they even dare. I'll kill, I swear. Murder, murder.
Hello, Boot.
Hi, Your Highness.
How you doing on your third day off?
I'm doing really well. I was just wondering how you are doing.
Dude, I'm doing great. It's holiday season.
It is.
We are having fun and we're jacking off. Wait.
Figuratively.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
We're acting like giant children
Absolutely.
in the privacy of our own home. So
we
I
can
think
do
it's
that
okay.
because all the kids are gone. Guess what? Your dad gave me this really cool book about the Peck family in Grand Rapids.
My dad did, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to digging into that.
Yep.
It's going to be a great book.
Very interesting stuff.
Also, I bought myself these notebooks because I actually like to write our stories out at work early in the mornings.
Oh, that's that one you got.
Yeah, it's called Black and Red. I opened it to jot down some notes today, and I see you tried it out because it has a different type of paper, I guess.
I did, and you were telling me it feels different when you write, so I just made a little note to
This
feel it.
is the little note he wrote. There was a time when I thought you were a dick. That was earlier this morning. Thanks. That was very nice of you.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's all right. It's later in the day, and I
cool.
still feel like you're a dick. I think
Yeah,
you're a dick.
well, you're always a dick, so.
Once
You
a
can
dick,
scan
always.
these little things and keep them in little. They're pretty cool. Anyways, I like to actually write instead of type, so it's pretty neat.
I do too, with notepads and stuff.
I just want to say, some strange way, we have made it into the earballs of people in 132 different cities. What
It's
the
remarkable.
fuck?
I know.
Remarkable.
Right.
I just want to thank every single one of you guys for downloading and listening to us. We want to wish you all a happy holiday.
Yes, thank you all for joining us. Michigan Murders and Music. I have an explicit content warning, which we probably should do before we get too deeply into this.
Probably already blew that.
Maybe. Your Highness will say naughty words now and then, and the content is murder. That's just not a very nice thing,
It's murder.
and children should not be listening to us.
No, and if you have a kid that tosses, give them a gift and it's Baby Yoda and they just throw it down and say, I don't want it.
That sounds like a very personal anecdote there.
Don't blame us.
Right. Hey, you said you wanted the Baby Yoda.
You may or may not want your children to listen to us because we're going to laugh about kids that do that kind of stuff. We can't afford the counseling for your kid because we're going to laugh at them right now. Yeah. So maybe my granddaughter,
She'll appreciate this someday.
it was
hilarious.
really kind of, I don't know what Baby Yodas are supposed to look like. So I bought her
either.
a stuffed one.
I thought it
and
looked like weird too.
she's too young to tell me, like, I want an action figure, but it was just Baby Yoda. I want Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was totally ugly. I'm not gonna lie. The nose was all jacked up.
Speaking of Jack,
She was like,
our Jack Russell really did enjoy that.
he did enjoy
stuffed animal.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's totally torn apart. Anyway,
De-stuffed.
it was great. I couldn't be mad because it's so fucking fantastic. So now I
was.
have to go buy our action figure.
We're
Where are we going to tonight, Boo?
heading to a city in Michigan called Chesaning.
We're going to talk about Jerald Leroy Wingeart. Winegeart.
It's prison number 106413 at the Lakeland Correctional Facility. So what did he do?
Well, a young lady, just 20 years old, she was a mother to an infant boy who had just turned 1, had taken her truck to the grocery store. She left her husband and child home. There's actually 2 stories. One, she borrowed a friend's truck and went to the store, in which case I have no idea what happened to the baby. The second one, she left her husband and the baby at home, got in the truck, drove 20 miles or a good 20 minutes to Owasso, Michigan, to go grocery shopping. A 20-minute drive to go grocery shopping for you guys might sound absolutely ridiculous, but around here, that's nothing.
Right. There are a lot of cities that are that far or even a lot further.
Sometimes
from a
when
grocery
we go
store.
camping, you get a party store and that's it.
Gas station. Mhm.
Yeah, you get what you get. It. You better need what's there, and that's it. Like many small towns, while she was checking out at the grocery store, she ran into a friend. They chatted. Dawn pushed her cart out of the grocery store, and she was never seen again.
That night, January 27th, 1973, her husband reported her missing. The next day, police found the borrowed truck in the shopping center parking lot.
Her groceries were strewn inside, and her car keys were on the ground by the truck door. Obviously, they immediately realized it was a forceful abduction. 4,000 local volunteers searched the area and came up with nothing.
About 2 months later, March 4th, 1973, brothers Wayne and Bill Summers were tapping maple trees on their family farm in Saginaw.
Laughing. You're such a boy. I bet they were tapping those trees.
When they discovered Dawn's body.
I'm not sure how
They were
old
drilling
those...
him and tapping him.
You're such a fucker. Oh my God, what a fucker. I don't know how old they were, but I can't imagine. They were probably out being total boys and dicking off, and then they look over and there's this woman lying there dead. That'd be horrible.
Oh, yeah. Dude, is that a DB?
A what?
I think that's a DB.
Wait, what?
Not a douchebag.
So, day ruined for those boys. They had to call the cops, and their maple farm became a crime scene. Maple farm.
Right.
Upon doing the autopsy, it was revealed that Dawn had been raped.
She had also been shot 3 times in the back of her head with a .22 caliber gun of some sort.
I mean, what? It was a little pistol.
We know that, but
Oh.
at this point in the story, we didn't know that.
Okay. The medical examiner figured out she was gone and or passed away approximately 90 minutes after she was abducted.
That's pretty short order.
Probably took less than 2 minutes to snag her, which is really scary.
2 brands of ammo were used. 2 of them were Remington, and 1 of them was Winchester.
Not Dean or Sam either.
Oh, yeah, I love that show.
I love those boys.
Well,
Any and all evidence was taken from her body and stored in evidence containers, obviously, and luckily, some of the evidence was spermicidal.
spermatozoa?
Spermatizia.
Another 3 months go by, and so now it's June 1974. A .22 caliber revolver was recovered from the Shiawassee River in Owasso, Michigan.
I was kind of like, how did they just find it? Well, we learned that 4 boys were swimming in the river, and one of them stepped on it. Can you imagine? That's like Stand By Me stuff. Like,
totally
you're
is.
like hanging out, and you're like, holy shit, we just found a gun.
Yeah, and the first boys found the body, and then boys later found the pistol. Different boys.
Holy crap-a-moly.
Yeah.
The gun was actually still loaded. It contained the 3 spent rounds that matched the 3 that killed Dawn. The gun was traced to a pawn shop in Yuma, Arizona, of all places, where it was purchased in 1965 by a man named Robert Shaw.
We found out that Robert Shaw was stationed in Arizona when he was in the Army back then. And it turned out that he was Dawn's first husband, but they were unable to locate him. They did find him eventually.
Well, this was, we didn't have internet back then again.
Phone books.
In 1976, 2 years after the gun was found, Dawn's wallet and ID were found on the bank of the same goddamn river that the gun was found in.
Probably by another few boys that were out
Probably,
goofing around
but
by
did
the
they not search that area when they found the gun?
That does make me wonder.
Or was it too wooded and it
could be?
Who knows?
Yeah,
it makes me wonder. Anyways,
so the case goes cold at this point.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
The evidence they have isn't taking them anywhere, and they can't find Dawn's ex. The case is not reopened until 1995. That's nearly 20 years later.
A detective, Michigan detective, Gail Tobin, going over cold cases, realized that they had collected spermatozoa, or as you call it, spermicidal.
Spermicidals.
Evidence that our DNA tools have drastically changed.
Spermatozoas. Little swimmers.
At this point, we're able to analyze that goo.
Did you say analyze?
That's what you heard.
So they had the Michigan State Police DNA lab in East Lansing and also had an independent lab run the DNA.
At this time, the detectives were also trying to hunt down the people of Dawn's past, like Robert Shaw, the owner of the gun.
And literally, they did do this with white pages.
Yeah, the phone book.
The goddamn phone
book. Yeah, looking up his phone number.
There's numerous Robert Shaws out there.
They found a bunch.
I can imagine now you'd find thousands.
3 years later, in 1998, they located Robert Shaw. He told them that he did own the gun, that particular gun, but had lost it years ago.
They were able to clear him of Dawn's murder through his DNA. He could not remember what had happened to the gun. He was going through a divorce, and who knows what was going on in his life.
A few years later, so we're talking right around the area of 2000 and 2001, right in there, Robert Shaw finally remembers that his ex dated a guy named Jerald Leroy Wingeart. Shortly after they divorced, he thinks, he's been thinking about this for a few years now, so it finally clicked in his mind that this guy Jerald might have taken the gun from his house.
Right, or car, or wherever. He couldn't remember where he'd stored this gun. So detectives took that name and they ran with it. Jerald.
This is what they found out about Jerald Leroy Wingeart. Go ahead.
Oh, I can't speak, apparently.
At 20 years old, the married Jerald, who was a U of M engineering student with a scholarship, had been convicted in a 1961 rape of a blind U of M student and for the robbery of her escort. The guy's a piece of dirt.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. He served 8 years.
Dirt is kind.
Yeah, he served 8 years for those two crimes and was released in 1969.
After that, he became a long-haul trucker and lived in numerous states, which just throws all kinds of red flags on the field to me.
It's such the stereotype. You know, you think of these truckers as creepy weirdos that abduct, rape, murder.
It's fucking true. He had to have been on the road doing this. Mm-hmm. And you know that Dawn wasn't his first victim. There's no way.
Right.
That was just the first victim he got
caught
caught with.
I got to take a swig of this, man.
Okay, you take a swig. I might as well, too. Delicioso.
That's much better.
So,
during this investigation, they recovered a cigarette butt from Jerald.
The old cigarette butt DNA trick.
Mm-hmm. Matched his DNA with that of the DNA found in the jizz kit.
Oh my God. I wonder if that's actually what they probably
jizz
do.
Kit.
Hey, will you hand me down
I need a jizz kit.
Anyways, Jerald was arrested for the murder of Dawn at the age of 60 on March 7th, 2001. He was only charged with the murder, as the rape and the kidnap had, like, the statute of
limitations had run out. In November of 2001, Jerald was tried for the murder of Dawn at the Livingston County Courthouse.
On November 27,
2002. It says 1002 in our notes. That was a really long time ago. Oh my God.
You read this and didn't even catch that either. That's the great part. Okay, yep. November 27, 2002, he was convicted for the death of Dawn. In 2002, he was sentenced to life without parole. So 28 years after the young 20-year-old Dawn had disappeared and was murdered, her mother and brother were there to see the man who killed their Dawn.
28 years.
Justice. Yeah, so this guy is rolling out. He had gotten remarried. He thought he was going to get away with that shit, I think. I mean, geez, 28 years. And how can you live with that without just not being physically ill? In some way.
Certain kinds of people with certain kinds of mental, whatever you call it.
I'm sure there will never be a complete closure for the family in this situation, but it has to feel a lot better for them.
At the time of his conviction, Jerald was under investigation for the deaths of young women and other crimes committed in Washtenaw and Ionia counties in the previous 10 years.
One of those included the cold case of the rape and murder of 16-year-old Laura. At the time of this young lady's murder and rape, Jerald was 38 years old, living in Eaton Rapids, and worked for the state government. Not so oddly, Jerald left Michigan right after young Laura disappeared and before her body was found.
He got the heck out of town.
He moved to New York.
Who knows what the heck he did in New York? It'll come up eventually.
I'm sure. Within 2 years of Laura's death, he moved back to Michigan. In that case, the judge ruled that the police had violated Jerald's rights in the search for evidence, and the case was dismissed before it went to trial.
You know, that you hear about that kind of thing once in a while, and just because somebody didn't dot an I properly or put a comma in the wrong place, they can say,
Got away with it.
Yep.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And we know he was an on-the-road trucker, so we know there's so many other people that he
abducted, did all kinds of naughty things with, and probably left laying in a ditch.
It's crazy.
So now he sits with this smug smirk on his face, and you want to do what to him? You want to cut?
I want to cut his fucking lips off his face, and I'm really hoping he's getting jailhouse raped every single fucking 60 years old or not. I don't care. Because
Bubba,
I mean, we only know about 2 people. There had to have been a gazillion more. He started this at like a young age. I can't imagine how many young women in Michigan, plus all across the entire country, that were affected by this fuck stain. Fuck stain's too nice of a word.
Well, he was brought to justice. Little too
there
late.
He's
but
sitting
hey, what
in
the
Lakeland
heck?
County Correctional Facility. I don't know what happened to the infant son. I know he did have other children, and that's it. At least her family got
Technology is
to
great.
see that.
I love to see it evolve. It's continuously evolving.
I love that it was the old cigarette trick.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna,
It's either that or a glass of water
we're gonna
or something.
stake him out. So I did write the story and then realized that there was a A&E cold case files on it. So if you guys want to watch the A&E cold case files, that gives you basically the same information.
Same story with a little more drama.
Yeah, and pictures of the people. The first guy that was married to her that they thought did it, that they owned the gun.
Mm-hmm. Robert Shaw.
Yeah, he was working at Bell's.
He was.
And this was way back before Beer City happened or anything. So that was kind of crazy.
They called him a warehouse worker, and he's got this Bell's shirt on, and he's
we thought maybe that was
alcoholic
kind of
beverages
just
around.
a thing. And then all of a sudden we see him work at where he's working. It's like, oh my God, he's really a Bell's employee.
Yep. Bell's is a Kalamazoo brewery.
Very popular.
Yeah, very popular. Your Highness.
Do you have a happy ending?
We have a happy ending.
We do? Do you know who it is?
It is Mustard Plug.
Holy shit, we actually have the same happy ending today.
These guys.
I really thought maybe you had come up with a different band, and I was going to say, this is who we're doing.
We have to do Mr. Smiley.
Oh, fuck yeah, you have to do Mr. Smiley.
It's very fitting.
It is.
Because of Smirker and Mr. Smiley.
Plug is probably one of the best bands ever. And if you've never heard ska music, I encourage you to look up ska music. Do you have to pee?
No.
You're doing the pee-pee dance.
My back was
Your legs are crossed and you're holding your pee-pee like you have to do the pee-pee dance. You're doing the little boy pee-pee dance.
I was trying to do the Eminem thing. Look at this.
Oh, that was very impressive.
Thank you.
Mustard Plug literally travels everywhere. Before
around the world.
Before 2020 fucking happened.
Mm-hmm.
They've been to Japan. They've been everywhere. Mustard Plug.
It's Mr. Smiley.
and all the things you said to me. You always taught me right from wrong. Right from wrong. Till you went on the killing spree and killed your family. Why is this the way things have to be? Tell me, oh, Mr. Smiley, how could it be true? The things they say that they knew, I can't believe it. What has happened to you? I took my time while thinking it through, digging for facts, believing in you. Oh, Mr. Smiley, but give me a clue why they said it was you. I can't accept it. Tell me it's not true, 'cause you were once so good to me. Oh, Mr. Smiley, tell me how it could be. I never thought you'd be a criminal case till I saw your face on my TV. Was it just for entertainment? 'Cause now you face solitary confinement. Why is this the way things have to be? Tell me, oh, Mr. Smiley, how could it be true? The things they say that they knew, I can't believe it. What has happened to you? I took my time while thinking it through, digging for facts, believing in you. Oh, Mr. Smiley, give me a clue why they said it was you. I can't accept it. Tell me it's not true. 'Cause you were once so good to me. Oh, Mr. Smiley, tell me how it could be. Oh, Mr. Smiley, what has happened to you? Oh, Mr. Smiley, what has happened to you? Tell me it's not true.
Thank you for choosing Michigan Murders and Music. Please rate the show wherever you listen. Michigan Murders and Music is produced by The Boots. Episodes are researched and written by Your Highness. Edited by Your Highness. Views and opinions are the sole stupidity of us and us alone. Don't blame others, please. Listening to this podcast could quite possibly cause major problems to your earballs and definitely will mess up your kids. Permission has been given to us by the bands, and we purchase our music on Bandcamp.com. Support your local music scene and all local music scenes.